I recently got out of a long-term relationship, and when it ended, the last thing she said to me was, "You are a waste of space." I was like, damn, 6 years. And you're gonna end on a Katy Perry lyric? She didn't even have the decency to make it Taylor Swift. If you couldn't tell by those jokes, I was dating a white girl. I was dating a white girl, and I'm originally from India. So amongst my cousins, I'm basically Meghan Markle. I was actually on a date recently, and this girl was like, "Oh my God, you do stand-up? I love stand-up." I was like, "Thank you, Hinge algorithm." I was like, "Who are some of your favorite stand-ups?" You know, she was like, Aziz Ansari, Hassan Minaj, Kumail Nanjiani. Did you just pick the 3 comedians that match my skin tone? Like, did I just become a fetish? Like, if so, I am honored. Like, I wish I could go around to little Indian boys all over the world and be like, "Hey, it gets better." This girl's my hero. If it was up to her, there would be a Pornhub category that's just skinny brown men that made me chuckle. So I was born in India, and I moved to Orange County, California with my family when I was just 2 years old. So I sound like a surfer, but I cannot be the president, and my penis is wearing a hoodie. I don't know if you know this actually, but being uncircumcised makes you 6 times more likely to get pulled aside by the TSA. Every time I get pulled back there, I'm like, "Yo, I am wearing Lululemon pants and Nikes. Does this look like the game day uniform for jihad?" Like, do you think Al-Qaeda has an athleisure budget? Also, have you ever seen a terrorist with a travel pillow? I clearly plan on making it all the way through this flight. Also, how am I supposed to hijack a plane from 36E? That shit's a middle seat. One time I got pulled back for additional screening by the TSA. And they started questioning me. They were like, "Where do you live?" I was like, "Virginia," at the time. They're like, "What's the closest restaurant to your house?" It's like, "Chipotle?" He's like, "You're free to go." It's like, which begs the question, have terrorists not heard of Chipotle? And if not, should we tell them? Because if it was me and I came over, started to blend in, get the call from Al-Qaeda a few weeks later, like, "Yo, Nak, you ready for the hijacking?" Be like, "Yo, I'm converting." They'd be like, "To Christianity?" Be like, "Nah, to carnitas." I now belong to the Church of Latter-day Burritos. My favorite part about that story is the actual closest restaurant to my house was the Afghan kebab house. I majored in immigrant survival skills. Actually, I went to college on the East Coast, and I was on the rowing team. So I've studied white folks up close. And not just any kind of white folks, the kind of white folks who can trace their money back to the Mayflower. Like, did you know J.P. Morgan was a person? Actually, in my college application, my college counselor wrote that when he first met me, he thought I was a tan white guy. And honestly, I'm not offended that he wrote it. I'm a little offended that it worked. It was actually, I went to a Catholic school, right? So you'd always have this debate, was Jesus white? Was Jesus black? I was like, all I know is Jesus was not Indian. Because the man had the power to heal the sick, and not one person was like, "Yo, maybe you should be a doctor."